Hello, subscribers and non-subscribers, and welcome back to Rule 2. I was about to say 3 for some. So I did modify the enemy VP to lower them down by about 300 points. So in the game file, it said they had 14,900, though obviously at the end of last part they had 14,960. For whatever reason, when I lowered it down to 14,600, the game's decided to load it as 14,340. I don't know why. I really don't. It seems every time I load the save, the game is deciding to give them a different amount of victory points. Very weird, I'll say. I have no idea why it's doing that, but that is what it's deciding to do. I can't really do anything about it deciding to, for some reason this time, give them less victory points than I have. The game's just being weird for some reason. It really is. I have no idea what the deal is there. But let's go ahead. We're just going to continue on. We're going to forget about that weirdness that's happening. Okay, no battle this time. And then they jump up to 14,820 because, you know, why not? Why not? Good job, Italy. But that still doesn't close the gap because presumably part of the issue is I'm being blockaded, but the game's not informing me about them gaining victory points for me being blockaded, though. Okay, that's why. So yeah, they gained 250 for blockading us, and I can't do anything about being blockaded. Sadly. But they've sort of loosened their stranglehold on the North American East Coast. But they've moved a lot more stuff into the Caribbean, apparently. Is there anything at all that I can move? I have a ship in the Northern Pacific. We're going to move you to the East Coast. We have more stuff in the Caribbean. I'm going to take the Pueblos out of the Caribbean. That was the original plan. We're going to move those to the East Coast. Got a ton of destroyers in the Southeast Asia that aren't really doing us much good, so we're going to go ahead and take those as well and move them to the East Coast. And we get a cruiser action. Probably going to hurt us. A timer. Before I forget. I have both my well, not both my armored cruisers. I have two armored cruisers here, the Charlotte and the Pueblo, so first of its class and one of its sister ships. That was fast. Much faster than I expected. Don't fire your torpedoes just because you feel like it. Also, are some of these Jarvises? Yes, and then we have a Cruiser. Those are the armored cruisers, most definitely. And those would probably be the destroyers that are heading right for us, yes. They're sending light cruisers actually at us. Game. That is definitely not a Corvette. One, it's way too big to be a Corvette. That's just the most obvious part of it. But two, it's also being perfectly tailed by a light cruiser that just so happens to look fairly similar. Though they are different classes, the one mistakenly being labeled as a Corvette, which is a big-ass Corvette if it was ever a Corvette, is actually a Champion class, while the other one is a Calliope class. What's your top speed? 22, yours is 21, so they're probably going at 21. Assuming that they're moving at Squadron Max. You have 2.5 inches of belt and 1 inch of deck. You have 2 inches of belt and 2 inches of deck. I don't recall what your guys' pen is. You can penetrate the belt at any range, which is probably why you're firing armor piercing. Also, game has finally corrected itself and acknowledged the lead light cruiser is in fact a champion class and is not a corvette. Now, the question is whether or not my guys are actually going to do any damage. You actually have a half-decent hit chance of 2.42. Now, I'm assuming this is out of 100. So, if you were to fire 100 shells, or 100 shots right this second, about 2.42 of them would hit. So we'll just say 2, because you can't have half a shell hit, realistically. I would... Okay. It kind of looked like they were trying to send their light cruisers at me. Which, I mean, I would have been fine with. Oh shit, we're actually doing quite a bit of damage. That, I think I know what happened. The game just got hit by what it does to me periodically, which is reorganizing divisions after ships take damage. Oh no, or maybe not, because the champion is overtaking now the Calliope. Even though it was behind after the turn. I think you're going to be inaccurate when you say it has taken heavy damage, but it's definitely taking a beating. Damn you, game. A mem? Just break off. Where's the nearest port? Oh, we're in the southeast. Okay, Wilmington is the closest. Jarvis got hit by a torpedo, but can you get one off before you officially sink? Really? That guy's outside your arc. I call bull. Well, I guess not necessarily that he's outside your arc, but rather that he's apparently an invalid target. Yet for some reason the game is not wanting to label the Calliope here. Like, it recognizes the champion, which is definitely outside your arc, and I understand that. That's why you're not going for the champion. You're going for the Calliope. But then for whatever reason, you're just refusing to allow me to tell you to go for the Calliope. There you go. Do it. Perkins, do you happen to have a shot as well? You do. Fire one right up the rear. Hit. Perkins, you are not going to be able to fire again. You are severely damaged, so get the hell out of Dodge. Dale. We pretty much have, we've got to verify that this guy sinks. And I'm pretty sure you missed. I'll go for the champion. Max speed is 22, so I should still be able to overtake you traveling at 20. Although the main issue is those 10 3-inch guns you have as secondaries, although raft gun's been damaged. I'm not quite able to... You know, that is actually interesting, that I have armored cruisers that are faster than a light cruiser. I mean, that can happen, yes, but it's just a little weird, to be honest. You should not have a shot. That would be correct. Well, at least you don't have a solution. Technically, you had a shot. you could have tried to take. But it's unlikely it would have been able to hit. Yeah, break off. Go for their... Clear off their destroyers. Make sure they don't come after... Oh, shit, they're turning it on us. And the Shred is out of ammo on its rear gun, it looks like. Oh, do you not have... Oh, you don't have a rear gun. That's your problem. So you're not out of ammo on the gun that bears. You just don't have a gun that bears. Which is a side effect of the design of the Jarvis class, because I wanted 3 torpedo tubes, center line, but with the size of the ship at only 600 tons, displacement, I was going to suffer overcrowding if I gave you an aft. And if you're unlikely to be running, you're going to more often than not be chasing, so it's fine for you to only have a 4. You know what, I'm going to tell the Stret to go back. It's taking damage, and again, I don't exactly have ability to just lose destroyers left and right. I'm going to turn the Dale out. There we go, we hit the champion. No more hits on the champion yet. But the Dale's the one out of torpedoes. I kind of wish I could have the Stret hand over its torpedoes to the Dale before it left, but that's not actually a feature. It's also would probably be a fairly micro-intensive feature if you did it, so it's understandable that it's not. The Charlotte got hit, but it doesn't look like anything happened to it. Some superstructure and hull hits, yeah, nothing to really write home about. Champions hit again. Again. So we're firing 5 6-inch guns. Why aren't you... Oh, are they... Ah, I think I know what the issue is. So, you are firing your Maine. That's a definite thing you're doing. However, your issue is... It's a slow firing, yeah. Rate of fire of 0.72. Compare that to the... Don't tell me. Rate of fire of 1.59 to the final rate of fire for our secondaries. Dale, you're getting a little too close. I need you to avoid... There we go. Our guys could not hit the broadside of a barn with 9-inch guns, though, it seemed. With a 3.74% hit chance, you are absolutely failing. There you go. Gotta hit with a 9-inch gun, finally. And then you proceed to miss with the other one. Secondaries are firing on the Cossack. Well, a Cossack, rather. Charlotte's superstructure got hit, and actually did damage this time. No torpedo for you. I know you have 3 submerged. I'm assuming it's 1 on each side and 1 4. Possibly you have an aft, but I'm assuming that that is not the case. Champion's taking hits. There we go. 9-inch hit on the champion. Those are probably 6. Nope. Those are more 9-inch hits. Wonderful. So, aft turret. One of the forward wing turrets is knocked out, and on the other side, the I can never remember which side is which. I'll be honest with y'all. I think that was the Pueblo saying it's almost out of ammo at 50%. Yeah, this guy's taking quite the beating. Dale, come back. I know I kind of forgot about you, but I need you to come back. There we go, you're down to 5 knots, so you're probably going to be sinking shortly. I will give you a torpedo as a final goodbye as I pass by. Please don't torpedo me while I attempt to torpedo you. It's rude if you do that. There we go. That should pretty much guarantee that you are sunk. I'll have the Pueblo fire its own at you as well. Just, you know, double check. I heard a torpedo fire. A second one, so I think it fired a torpedo, but it looks like it did nothing. Now we chase after the Cossacks. I'm gonna have the Dale go for the one that's heading south, and the Charlotte and Pueblo are gonna go for this one that's heading east. Game claims you're sneaking, but I'm gonna call bull on that. Oh, the Cossacks, the poor Cossacks class. With its crappy 2-inch guns that can't do anything and relies solely on torpedoes. Also, Charlotte is taking quite a bit of structural damage, I assume from those crappy 2-inch guns. But I can't say for certain if it is from those crappy 2-inch guns. That's just the only thing that makes any sense to me. I want you to fire your big 9-inch guns at it. Oh, forget about the champion. It's not a threat anymore. I'm pretty sure you guys are far enough away that if it fires a torpedo, it's unlikely to hit. But let's just avoid... Oh, you're picking up survivors. Yeah, that guy's sunk. That formation that you were, or that, the way it was moving, that looked like they were picking up survivors. Yep, there we go, it's officially sunk. These guys are not going to go down easily, though. Sinking destroyers, particularly in the early game, is kind of a pain. Mostly because they're so small. I mean, these guys are 600 tons. Yeah. Firing particularly big guns are unlikely to hit. Your guys' hit chance is 0.5. Your forward gun is almost out of ammo, and your forward gun is also almost out of ammo. You're about to have to rely on your aft guns, which you won't be able to fire on a ship that you are chasing. Oh yeah, you don't have torpedoes. Cossack. Oh, this one got hit by 3-inch guns. You guys are... Your secondary... Okay, yeah, your secondaries are 3-inch guns. I never paid attention because I didn't design those ships. They have 9-inch primaries, or, well, main guns. 6-inch secondaries and 3-inch tertiaries. Somebody really loved numbers that are divisible by 3. They designed that ship. This guy kind of looks like he's slowing down quite a bit. I turn. I mean, I'm gonna have to get close if I want to have any hope of a torpedo. Again, you don't have torpedoes. I keep forgetting that. I've really got to do a better job of paying attention to that ship. I literally just looked at not that long ago. Dale's almost out. Well, it's down to 50%, which is technically almost out. And that guy's dropped down to 5 knots, so safe bet that he's gonna sink. Yep, dead in the water. Conserve your ammo, just stop firing until I tell you to start shooting again. I mean, it's possible that guy will survive, but they probably have flooding. And particularly on destroyers, flooding is unlikely to be dealt with in time, because they don't have a lot of structural health to be able to take care of flooding. Okay, that guy's outside of your firing arc, or range rather. Feel free to start opening fire. Dale, you keep going with him. He has slowed down though, so I'm going to tell you guys now to slow down to cruising speed. Because he's moving at around, well, somewhere where the game says 10 knots. And your forward gun is out of ammo. Oh, and you're a Bainbridge. I didn't realize we also had a Bainbridge with us. Oh yeah, the rest of you guys, how are you doing? Ever so slowly making it there. Oh, you're flooding. Slow down to 5 knots. Just keep going at cruising speed if you can. Game claims light damage, but you know, destroyers don't go 10 knots. Well, 10 to 15 knots. When they've taken light damage, so he's at least at medium realistically. Potentially even right at the border between heavy and medium damage. So oh, you're... Okay, your rear gun seems to be firing now. Or not. There you go, now it is. Go to 15. You guys are kind of gonna have to overtake them soon. Just as a result of a lack of forward ammunition. And dead in the water. So we sunk 2 light cruisers and 2 destroyers. Victory for 1,000 points. Battle of Onslow Bay. I know, game. I know. Got some information on the Izumo class, which I'm pretty sure I already had tons of information on anyway, so that's not particularly useful. The Centurion, on the other hand, first dreadnought from them. That is actually useful information. It is less armor than mine. I have 10.5 because I saw battleships being designed with 10.5, so I said, let's get some extra. This is 9. We can easily pen 9 inches of belt armor. Still blockaded. Oh shit, they just brought a bunch more troops. Because yeah, we have 6 14-inch guns, which up the design. So we can't quite pen the 2 inches of deck armor they have, which is fine. We can easily pen the belt armor. Well, relatively easily. If we get to 5,000, within 5,000 yards. Which is a little close for comfort. But, you know, we're getting there. Are they actually building any? I assume they are building those. Oh, yeah. Oh, crap. They're building 4 camper towns. And they're building their first ever Battlecruiser. Well, the Invincible class. Anybody else starting to get any dreadnoughts? Russia is. Russia's starting to get some. And a battlecruiser. Game, is that your hint that I should probably design a battlecruiser? Oh, that is hideous. No, 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 no. I hate wing turrets. I really do. Also, we don't have cross-deck fire, do we? Doesn't matter anyway. No. Double turrets, because we can't do triples. Forward superimposed, aft, thank you very much. 28 knots if we can, thank you. Drop the torpedoes, because this thing should never, if things go as planned, get in range. We'll go with down to 13 inch. Secondaries, 5 inches is a little heavy for right now. Drop you down to 2. In theory, I can give you more later. Can I? Up to... I can't do dual turrets. I'm pretty sure I can't do triple turrets, right? Yeah. We drop you down to 12 inch? 12 inch guns, which... 12 inches is a little light for Battlecruiser. I could do 27 inch gun, or 27 speed. And get you back up to those 14 inch guns you so love. 150 rounds of ammo, thank you. Per gun. Is this gonna end up... Yeah, that would make it bigger than our Wyoming. Can I not? There we go, that's... That seems okay. I don't know if we're gonna go with this. Because I kind of would prefer to look at my almanac, or my spreadsheet, or settling on a design, but we might be going for something sort of like this for our first ever battlecruiser. Give or take a little bit, because I won't be designing it until after this part. Okay, let's enemy coastal raid. Accept. Cruisers and destroyers, so presumably they're not bringing any battleships, which is good because I'd rather not fight any battleships right now. We'll at least see what they're throwing at us before we decide whether or not to turn back to try and get to Portland. So destroyers are going to go well ahead of the formation. Maximize the chances that I see them in time for my light cruisers to be able to turn around and say, nope, this is not for us. This is, of course, also assuming we even spot them at all, because there is a potential that we just don't spot them. Like the last time we had a coastal raid. The game has me going north, which means presumably they're up here. Coming down from St. John and New Brunswick. But there's no guarantee that that is the case, and night is approaching. Which also means we're probably not going to spot them now. So this will be another coastal raid. Well, turns out I'm wrong. This will be a coastal raid that will actually go somewhere. Because we have gotten a glimpse of an unknown ship out in this direction, out to the southwest. But never mind. We will actually potentially get a fight. Unidentified ship. Oh, that's going to be their destroyers. Oh no, that's cruisers. I don't know if they're actually armored cruisers or light cruisers. I'm going to go with light cruisers, though. Mostly because the last one's a light cruiser and the middle one's an armored cruiser. 50-50 shot. I'm going with light cruisers. We are going to have to get much closer to identify them. The exact class, which... And they're Europas, which means I was wrong. They are, in fact, armored cruisers. Can't pen them. Oh no, you can pen their belt armor. At 7,000 yards. So... they would need to be about there. About where this line is. Yeah, you're not doing that. We're just gonna try and keep them off of our transport here. Which, also, transport merchant 2, you should probably turn more towards the west rather than the southwest, because if you keep on this heading, you are, there you go, likely to run into them. Oh, no. There are actually light cruisers mixed in. Also, it should be noted, their light cruisers are basically just their armored cruiser. There is like no difference between the Persian class and the Europa. That's not even a Europa. They are actually all light cruisers. The game is just, again, misidentifying things. Which does happen, because obviously we don't have perfect information. This is sort of meant to simulate that sort of fog of war. So this is actually not a Europa class, despite the game's claim, which I'm pretty sure we cannot pen a Europa. This is in fact actually a Terpsichore class. We've also got a Persian class. Which we have apparently managed to get a hit on. And it is actually a hit, not a target straddled. And we are able to pen these guys, again, so long as they get within 7,000 yards. We're able to pen their deck armor. Or their belt armor, rather. Oh, Columbia just took a nice big hit to the engine room. I don't know what this lead one is, but it is well ahead of the rest. Chattanooga continues to take hits, but it's not being significantly damaged. The Columbia is the one that actually took damage. I don't really wish to get within 7,000 yards, and we actually are. Which means we are able to pen each other. Almost certainly they have 5-inch guns that are able to pen 2 inches of belt armor. And we have identified the lead as another Persian class. We now only have eyes on the lead. Although if we continue our current headings, we are eventually going to see the other guys. Out of curiosity, Columbia, can you launch a torpedo? No, you don't have a solution on that guy? I mean, you are in the lead. I would kind of think you maybe have a chance of actually getting a torpedo off that would be able to hit. You need to turn a little bit north to get a valid solution? Or are you just saying he needs to get closer before you actually say you have a solution? I find it unlikely that those will hit, but you know what? I will give you a chance to prove me wrong. Chattanooga. I have a shot on the rear one. So you claim. Again, feel free. Try to prove me wrong. I'll let you. I'm going to turn off, though. Ooh, those almost hit. And the game's not saying that the rudder has been hit on the Chattanooga. But considering I'm not allowed to have it turn, there we go. The rudder was hit. I could say that fairly confidently. Our destroyers will continue going after, or trying to get over here to deal with their light cruisers. Chattanooga's probably going to have to go to Portland, though. Taking quite a bit of damage. I don't know if it'll actually be able to make it there. Yeah, you're going to want to do a high speed if you want to have any chance of actually hitting. And he turned off in the direction I was not expecting. There's their destroyers. Yours is on the other side, I know that. But you don't have a shot right now. Yours is still reloading. 28 more minutes. 45 more minutes for you. And that is a destroyer, not a light cruiser. And there. Game goes merging them back together, which of course resulted in an access violation because you cannot actually select that one. Capping out at 12 knots is not going to do you any favors with those destroyers gaining on you. And there goes the game again, breaking them off. Now you have a chance to try and fire your other torpedo. The only one you have a shot at is one of the Persians. Try it. We'll see what happens. Maybe you get lucky. Probably not. But you never know. Well, you just proved me wrong. The Columbia's got to get the hell out of there, but it's... Oh, Columbia's engine is dead. Well, Columbia is going to be dead now because it's going to get swarmed by a whole bunch of torpedoes, I can tell you that now. That is not a Corvette. Columbia hit by a torpedo. Oh yeah, 94, yeah. Columbia's dead. For some reason the Burrows decided to break off from the rest of the guys. Well, we severely damaged one of their light cruisers. Now, Columbia, you know you can't avoid torpedoes. But when you have no engine, and you're probably not going to get an engine, the only way you survive is if I win this by getting everybody off of you very quickly. Though, their light cruisers are coming right for me. So, Banning, you got a shot at a Persian. For some reason the game is not showing me your blue bar so I can actually see how that fares, but you know, you have a shot at one of them. Sure you fire a shot. Banning, you fire a high. Burrows, you keep going. I think the one from the start looks like it should have hit. I don't know if it actually will hit. Sure, it's gonna fire another. Looks like I got a bunch of misses, or duds, one of the two. Columbia, really need to get your engines underway. You have a shot at the mystery. You do have a shot at the mystery light cruiser, which is again not a light cruiser. I can tell you that right now. That is definitely a destroyer. But I'll let you keep reporting it as a light cruiser if it makes you happy. Oh, there's the Terpsichore. And Columbia's sunk. Well, I should get 2 light cruisers of their own. 2 Persians. If I can get the Terpsichore here. Fanning still has a torpedo. Wonderful. Fanning, get that torpedo off. Come on, Fanning. Really? You don't have a shot? And you misunderstand signal, but the Fanning's breaking off. But I can't adjust its course right now. Chattanooga, you turn. Go to nice, slow, steady 10 knots. Oh, Dale, do you got a shot? Not quite, but maybe. If these headings continue, you might. No friendly ships. Oh, I'm looking at the Perkins. Still no? Okay. Whatever you say. Yeah, if you say you don't have a shot, I'm gonna say you're lying. And I think that was a dud. Because it did nothing. Perkins, you should not have a shot. That would be correct. Burroughs, you would have a shot if the Perkins wasn't where it is. And you guys are going line abreast, because of course you are. Oh, Fanning's engine got knocked out now too. Wonderful. Perkins won't be able to fire. Actually, you can. Also, I'm surprised it is, in fact, a light cruiser. I really was expecting it to be an armored. Or a destroyer, rather. Oh, the Burroughs might have a shot as well. Yeah, I don't see the Burroughs hitting, though. Oh, that's one of the heavily damaged ones. That guy got hit. And get your damn guys' information, please. Well, the Fanning's not supposed to be staying in that formation anyway. Thank you. Perkins needs to leave because the Perkins is badly damaged. The Sturt's also going to leave because it's taking damage. The Burroughs is the last one with torpedoes and it has both of its. And Dale just took a nice big shot to the face. Dale's going to keep leading. Burroughs, please tell me you have a shot at that. Don't, of course. Turn a little bit more. You should have a shot now. And you damn well better hit. And of course, because I say that, you proceed to miss. Because of course you would. Screw it, just give it a shot. You might manage to make a hit there. Not on the destroyer that you were technically aiming for, but maybe, potentially, if you got really frickin' lucky. No. Why is it so hard for you guys to keep these damn things separated when I tell you to be separated? Oh, Fanning had a torpedo still, apparently. I did not realize that. Not like it really matters. It was pretty much dead anyway. Wasn't going to be able to do much. Well, and Fanning sunk. Well, we've lost a light cruiser and a destroyer. And we've potentially sunk 2 light cruisers. Maybe 3. I think 2. Because I'm pretty sure they only had the 3. It's just, again, the game giving incorrect information. Dale, you're going to break off because you are slowing down the burrows. Yep, we're going to head back to port. We've done a bit of damage. I'm hopeful we will still win in this battle. Though admittedly with only about half of the time elapsed, they do have a shot at... Well, they're probably going to actually get the win. Because they probably only had to sink 2 ships, and it was any 2 ships. It did not necessarily have to be transports, and, well, they sunk 2 of my ships. Rest of the time passed by. They're going to get the win here. It's just a question of whether or not... Well, they're going to complete their objective, I'm sure. It's just a question of whether or not I will still get the win or not. And I don't. They got 18,000 points for that, and I ended up only getting credit for 1 of the light cruisers. They also apparently did in fact have 2 armored cruisers, despite the fact that we never saw the armored cruisers. Because they apparently managed to get lost way down in the south. The rally is in... Thank you guys, but unless you can manage to help me clear this blockade, the little bit of things you guys are doing ain't really helping a whole hell of a lot. If we're being honest, it really isn't. We got some more destroyers working up. Those should be ready within a turn or 2. And I could just put them straight into the active fleet. They're just not going to be particularly great. But you know what? We need all the shit we can get. How many battleships do you guys got here? 13, because of course you do. I'm going to have one more, one of our New Mexicos. The first, actually. And it's not the New Mexico. It's the Connecticut, because of course it is. For some reason, the New Mexico, the first of the New Mexicos, is having a bit of a hard time getting out of the shipyard on time compared to the Connecticut. So yeah, that's gonna be a thing. And I don't have any armored cruiser designs. Let's game. I'm not too picky on armored cruiser designs, so I'm not really gonna go and look. I am gonna ask why you're doing aft center line and not do superimposed. I can do aft center line and superimpose, which is not what I want. And I can do forward center line. I don't care for... So the only center line turrets I like are the normal forward and aft and superimposed. There's a simple reason for that. That aft center line and the forward center line, non-superimposed ones, in fact, actually even the aft superimposed. Oh no, the aft superimposed isn't, okay. Yeah, we're going to give you an aft superimposed, so you'll have 2 sets in the rear and 1 in the front. Which is a bit of a weird design. Typically you go with more guns forward because you want to be chasing the enemy, not running away. Or at least you prefer to maximize your guns when you're chasing the enemy as opposed to when you're running away. This is still fine for broadsiding. Now, I would still get 6 guns firing. We're gonna cut your tertiaries down to nothing. I want 150 rounds per gun, which should be, since it's per gun, not per turret. That should be what, 450 rounds total? Yeah, that should be right. Out of curiosity, what does Britain and Germany's armored cruisers look like in terms of speed? I just want to know how we stack up. Okay, 24, at least as of when I updated this, would put us ahead of the Andromeda and the Europas from Great Britain. I think they have some new designs. I just haven't. Well, yeah, they got the what is that? Bacchante here. It's not in service though yet. At least not as of when I updated this. So I don't know what its speed is. I'm gonna assume it's maybe 24, 25 at most. We're gonna do 24. Central firing. Can I maybe get those up to actual turrets? I can. But blast effects from V will reduce the rate of fire of secondary guns by 20% if they are not casemate. My choices are remove the V turret, which I could do, that's fine. No. I just stick with the standard armored cruiser design of 2 fore, 2 aft. I would have turreted secondaries, which at the bare minimum I need, so I can eventually equip this ship with dual purpose secondaries. Yeah, I think we're going to do that. It's 1907. Reality is this ship will probably be joining in, or will still be around, assuming any of the ships of the class still exist. You know, they didn't get sunk in a battle. Should still be in service around the time that aircraft start being introduced. So it'll still be a little while after that before we actually get to equip dual purpose guns, or rather upgrade the guns to be dual purpose. We're going to see if we can make this ship just a tad bit smaller. So if I make it 14,000 tons, same as the Bacchante over here, British, we would be able to get it down to 24 months build time, which is still 2 years, which is still a pretty long amount of time, all things considered. Anything else I can do? I could drop the torpedoes, which will give us another little bit, but not enough to make significant changes to build time. It doesn't get down to under 2 years until I get to just under 12,000 tons of displacement. And I can't get you down to 13,900, which would save me a little bit of money, not a whole lot. Actually, it's more expensive. Really? It costs me more money as you add more armor. When I decrease displacement, you add more armor? Really? Are you sure about that? Because that doesn't make a hell of a lot of sense. I don't know what the game is smoking, but it is smoking something. Because that does not make sense. Also, the ship is apparently big enough to allow me to have 24 secondary guns, if I could afford to actually get the ship to do that. If I wanted to actually do that, the ship would have to be at least over 14,500. So it'd be about 14,800 to do that, which gets us back up to 25 months. Now that's a lot of secondaries firing, but we can't really do that. I want to add tertiaries. I'm loaded to 34 total at this size, so I could do 10 tertiaries and dual gun mounts. 5-inch. I don't think I can do 11, right? Yeah, 11 makes you have to be a battlecruiser. Could drop you down to 9. Gets us more space. Yeah. I can't say this is a great design. Really can't. I mean, my belt armor is about on par with the rest of the ones from the British and Germans. I don't know anything about their deck armors, but I'm assuming they probably have at least 2 inches nowadays for more recent designs. Because, I mean, hell, I have to look back in the battles, actually, because, yeah, we fought some Europas, and the game, Win in Battle gives me the full information for whatever reason. But I don't actually have that information in the Almanac, I don't believe, for the Europas. But I believe the Europas were 2 inches of deck. So this is what we're going to go with. We're going to go for a 14,800 ton displacement, 24 speed, normal engine priority, 6 inches belt, 3 inches belt extended, 2 on the deck, 1.5 on the deck extended. 12 inches on the conning tower seems a little overkill because I'm pretty sure our Wyoming only has 10. So let's see if we can. Nope, can't make you any smaller. No. Figured I'd give it a shot. You never know. But yeah, so we'll drop the conning tower armor down from 12 to 10 because 12 is a little overkill, like I said. 6 inches on the turrets, 2.5 on the turret top, 2 on the secondaries. Still powered by coal. We haven't gotten oil yet, sadly. Medium range, no torpedo defense because we don't got any. Normal accommodations, no colonial service, 10-inch guns, 2 2-gun turrets, 24 6-inch secondary and single gun mounts, and then 10 5-inch tertiaries and 2-gun mounts. Yep, this is fine. Gonna be the Friedrich class. We'll start designing that. How much time is left on my timer? 5 minutes. So I'm gonna go ahead. I will let the turn go. I do expect us to get drawn into a battle. I really do. But we probably won't be fighting at this part unless it's a short battle. The Connecticut has been commissioned. We cannot show weakness now. Peace negotiations are out of the question. Better range for our coastal submarines. Wonderful. No battle. Interesting. We got the New Mexico now in action. Are still blockaded. That's not going to change anytime soon. I'm going to go ahead and push the Connecticut into service because we need it right now. I can't stand to take the extra couple of turns to not have it. When I queue up another Wyoming, we only built the one. Yeah, let's get another Wyoming going. We're going to accelerate the construction of it as well. We're still looking at about a year and a half, a little over. That's what, a year and 3/4 to get the Wyoming out. If we can ever get the Wyoming out, it'll help us in this war immensely. The issue is getting it out. Okay, God. And these battles will take a while. Fighting it and winning it will help us immensely. Like it did the last time they attempted to invade Maine. But I don't have the time for that. I mean, technically I do. I could do it, but... Oh god, it's a freaking mess. And there's the Connecticut. Pushed into service just out of dry dock. Who knows what issues exist because the ship didn't get a proper workup. It has a poor quality crew, which means they're probably not going to be able to hit the broadside of a barn. Which doesn't really change anything because our guys already can't hit the broadside of a barn. But, you know, they'll do it even less well. What do we got up here? We got a couple armored cruisers and a couple of destroyers. Now, if this is anything like the last invasion of Maine, or at least attempted invasion of Maine, more accurately, they're going to be coming from the south, not from up here. Day is going to be breaking relatively soon, so we will be able to see them at least. They won't be able to sneak their transports past us. But before I end this part, I am going to go ahead and tell our ships to turn south-southeast. Because as I said, if this is anything like the last time, they're going to be coming in from the south, not from the north. I will let these guys keep going to the northeast, just on the off chance the game gave them a different spawn this time. But I don't see that being the case. I'm fairly certain they're going to come from the south. Because the game also gave us our battleships, this is going to be a big battle. And we're going to get to see how the New Mexicos do, which, yeah, we'll see. Now, I'm pretty sure I didn't give the New Mexicos 400 rounds. So, I don't know how the New Mexico is getting 400 rounds in each turret. I'm fairly certain that I only gave it 100, maybe 150 rounds per gun, which, even if by gun it meant turret, or rather, it actually meant each gun, not each turret. That would only be 300 rounds per turret. So it's getting an extra 100 out of nowhere. I don't know what the hell the deal is there, but yeah, so that's a thing. I'm gonna let a couple seconds tick by, just so I can actually, get my guys in a formation that is actually usable. Here we go, that should be fine. Oh, the Michigan's left on its own, apparently. It's probably left on its own because I have 9 battleships, and I think battleship formations are 4 ships per. I think that is how that works. Also, because the Connecticut is in with these frickin' Illinois and Oklahomas, it's not going to be able to take full advantage of its max speed of 22 knots. It's going to be limited to 17 if I tell it to do Squadron Max, which I will be telling it to do. But we're going to go ahead and end this part here. I'm going to go ahead and save. And I will see you all next time, where we will be fighting our second largest battle so far to date. Well, I say second largest. Our second big battle to date, in which we are yet again trying to prevent the British from invading Maine. If we succeed here, this might push us over the threshold again to be in the lead for victory points, which will hopefully allow us to be able to negotiate a sort of basically white peace antebellum. To just get a basically nothing changes. But we'll see. So I will see you all next time, but until then, a goodbye and farewell.